to men. Women think that men were created to serve them. So if you ain't serving them, they don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because at the end of the day, women think that this is we need to teach males to do this. Women want men to be women. Women want society to transform a male into a female. Women hate women. Women hate each other. But they want to get a man and then make him embody all of the characteristics of a woman.
Single mothers are condemning men going their own way. Today's video comes from Soraya. Her channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check her out and support her. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men walking away from dating, relationships, and society, and women basically saying, hey, we wanted the bear, but now we need you back, and the way men are responding. Guys, don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. You never know what can happen on this platform. We're gradually migrating over to Rumble, so some videos will no longer be released on this platform within 1 month's time, but you still do have time to go and follow us on Rumble. It's linked in the description of the video. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. After a message from Angry's Crypto Academy. So guys, hard times have arrived. ATMs will stop working and banks will chain the doors. At Angry's Crypto Academy, we will teach you how to buy, sell, and trade crypto. And also, don't miss out on our new blueprint, Escape the 9-to-5, How to Replace Your Job with Cryptocurrency, now available. Learn how to achieve financial freedom and replace your job with cryptocurrency. Check it out using the link in the description of the video. And now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. And also, guys, just to tell you quickly, I am using a new microphone and I'm using my gaming laptop to do the recording. So if it sounds a little off, forgive me for that. Let's jump right in.
A man tells you that he grew up with his mom and his sisters and it was just them, so he has a different type of relationship with women and he respects women. Just know, he does not have a special respect for women, and he will ruin your life.
Do you know what fascinates me about these type of women, or even other women who believe that her statement has some type of validity to it? It'd be irresponsible, messed up decision-making single mothers who have no morals, no values, who keep picking the wrong men, who you can't tell nothing, who do not want to take any accountability for their actions. It be these women who raise emotionally unavailable, disrespectful young men. And the fact that these women don't realize that 7 out of 10 times that they are part of the problem, if not the problem, that leaves me speechless. That leaves me speechless. And today I want to get into why women like her are making these type of statements are completely delusional. But let's check out a couple of comments under that woman's post. Where did I find her? Of course, on TikTok. This comment says, not to mention the daddy issues. Let's get into a couple of characteristics of people who suffer from having daddy issues. Seeking validation, having the need to be the center of attention, unhealthy relationships, being afraid to be left alone or even left behind, pair bonding issues. What I just mentioned, these couple of characteristics only are describing 70 to 80% of modern Western women today. So really, who is suffering from daddy issues? Or this comment says, he is his own dad. I mean, I know this is another way to seek validation and attention online, trying to make the funniest comment that's going to get the most likes and the most attention. But at the end of the day, these are also the type of women who are looking for partners, boyfriends, fiancés, who want to be a potential wife one day. But if somebody actually shows you their lack of empathy, even if it's just a comment online, just goes to show you that these women really do not care. Not only do they not care in the comment section, they really don't care in life. They don't care unless a man has money. They don't care what a man has went through. They don't care what type of transformation a man may have to go through in the future.
Ooh, she just went in. Soraya just went in. All right? They don't care what a man has gone through. They don't care how hard he's had to grind to build himself up. They don't care what he's gone through. They just care what he can do for them and what has he done for them lately. That is how modern women think, and they believe that a man exists to serve them, to be a walking wallet that serves them because they are goddesses and their experience on earth should be good. This is the mindset. And the delusion is so bad that they'll say that this is what God wants for them. God wants them to get the 666 guy. God wants them to have, God wants them to enter into their soft girl era and live lives of luxury and comfort subsidized by some man. Okay? God wants this for them. These are the same people who will say things like God, God supports them being on Lonely Fools and OnlyFans. All right? Only only fools and lonely fans. God supports this. Guys, the delusion is real. Let me tell y'all something. I've told you in my life, there have been times when I've made mistakes. There have been times when I've done things that, probably fell short of what God wanted for me. And I'm going to tell you something. I will pray to God, and I'll know that I'm doing something wrong, and I'll say, God, please protect me as I go to do what I'm doing and bring me back safely. Let me have a great time and really enjoy myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be real with you. God knows I know I'm not doing right. God knows that I don't. That this is probably not that. This is likely not necessarily what He wants for me. God knows what's in my heart, but I'm still gonna ask Him for His protection, His guidance, His guidance, and His grace as I go and do my bad. I'm a real man. I'm a real man. I keep it 100. You can't lie to God. I don't even try to pretend and act like I like people and have this loving heart. And little bro, no, no. All right. If I don't like you, I'm really just gonna have it like that. Like, God, I don't like these people. I really wish you just deal with this for me, God. Really wish you would just deal with them for me, God. Just really, really deal with them. I'm just being honest with y'all. Like, this is how I am. Because you pretend to be something that you're not. The baby boomers are some of the meanest, nastiest people you'll ever meet, and they preach kindness when they were the least kind people out there. All right. They wanted to keep you ignorant. They wanted to keep you continually providing for a society that doesn't care about you and paying into their pension. And so their social security. Forget about that. You need to be real with yourself, and you have to keep it 100 with God, because God knows what's in your heart one way or another. And modern women think that they think that they can make stuff up, or they can, I don't know if they think that God doesn't see what they're doing, or God agrees with the insanity. But you have to remember that women rationalize using feelings, not facts. So the craziest things to any reasonable and rational person can make sense to a woman if she's rationalizing using only her feelings versus using facts that are derived in reality, not the reality that is created and constructed from her feelings. Because women construct realities from their feelings and then expect others to adhere to said reality. It's a crazy thing, but it's true.
These women, they feel as though they are the full, total package. I really feel so bad for these women because they don't even realize that they are online talking to themselves or talking to each other all day long, because men are done. Men are completely over and done with them. They don't even care how good they look, how well the BBL is sitting. They don't care. They're moving on. I mean, just check out these two comments right here. What does that tell you? He wants a princess treatment, completely emasculating any man. Any man that may have grown up in a single mother household, emasculating the hell out of them. And trust me, they would also tell you in your face. And the other one under it right here. I mean, honestly, these are not just some teenagers. These are fully adult women who will quickly tell you what type of degree they have earned after they were done with their college. These are full grown adult women who would throw it into your face talking about, I'm a grown woman. I'm a boss bitch. I don't talk to you. But when you scroll down the type of comments they would leave under people's posts, you were like, okay, what is this? Why would a grown woman even waste her time making this type of content or comment? See, what women also need to understand is, and this also, anybody can apply this to their life. It's better not to say anything before you say something that is destructive or even may hurt somebody, right? This can prevent so many arguments. If you don't have any constructive criticism to make or anything positive to contribute to a conversation, shut the hell up.
See, this is a very smart lesson, a very wise lesson that a lot of women struggle to understand. And I'm not putting Sarai on a pedestal because she's talked about her own relationship. She's talked about moments when she's created issues in her relationship for whatever reason. And then she realized that it was not her husband, it was maybe her mood or whatever. But at least she's able to be self-aware versus most women who don't seem to get that, like, bro, you're going to destroy your relationship, you are going to wreck it, you're going to shred it to the ground, you're going to torch it, you're going to scorch the earth, and nothing ever will be able to grow there again. And then when you lose everything, you find yourself with nothing, and then wonder, how did this happen? And the only thing that you do is say, my feelings betrayed me. No, you chose this for yourself. You chose to listen to your feelings over facts. So I remember situations, like reading articles where this woman, she was married to a wonderful guy. She wanted to be a boss babe, she wanted to be a career woman. She married this average bloke, and this is what's interesting. She married this average white guy. So Rai often says, she describes her husband as the average black American black guy. In this case, it was your average English white guy. This woman married the average English white guy. He was a nice guy, but he wasn't, like, super educated maybe, and he wasn't going to become a CEO or anything like that. So, but he treated her very well. He treated her well. He was a great husband to her, and she basically focused on her career. She started to move up the ladder, and I believe they got married. But she didn't she was not she was happy with him. But as she began to make more money at work, as she began to become, more, I guess, prestigious, a better title, and you know she's a boss babe, she figured that there was something better for her out there. There was a better man, because now she was better than the man that she was with. He was a good man, so I guess he had a job. He was able to take care of the home and so forth. But it was not good enough, because now she was making way more money than he was, and she looked at him as like a little joker, like, bro, you're not on my level. I have all this money. I'm a boss babe. You're like, who are you, right? And her father literally told her, do not leave this man. You are going to regret it. Okay? There is not something waiting for you better out there. Do not leave this man. What does she do? She doesn't listen to her father. Instead, she decides that she's going to go ahead and do what she wants to do, and listen to her feelings, believing that there was something better for her out there. There was someone better for her out there. And now she finds herself, I believe, in like her 50s, right? The guy, she left the guy. He basically moved on, found somewhere else, remarried. And now she's in her 50s, all alone, single and miserable. And now she's like, she wants him back, but it's too late, because he's already moved on with his life. And she's miserable, and she's filled with regret. And this was an article that I read many years ago. It's like maybe 7 years ago. And nothing has changed. Things have only gotten worse since then. Women learned absolutely nothing, guys. And just to remind you guys, I hope you guys are learning. Learn from other men. Be wise. There was a time in my life where I thought money was evil. I thought that, it was about people and love and kindness and all this garbage that was fed to us by the boomers. And then I experienced extreme hardships. I experienced homelessness over 10 years ago. And I learned my lesson that you always have to plan ahead for the future. And I'm telling you this again, guys. Those lovely little 9 to 5 jobs that you have right now, they are going to be gone in the next 10 years. Unless you're like skilled labor, forget about it. Hard times are not simply on the way, they are here. The ATMs are going to stop working. The banks are going to chain the doors, and you need a plan. You need a backup. And at Angry's Crypto Academy, we're here to teach you how to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Don't miss our new blueprint. Escape the 9 to 5. It's called Escape the 9 to 5, how to replace your job with cryptocurrency. And it's now available over in the Academy. Learn how to achieve financial freedom and replace your job with crypto. Check it out using the link in the video description below. I mean, modern women said that we wanted the bear, but now they don't want to go and hang out in the woods with Yogi and Boo Boo. That's the crazy thing about it.
To tell you why it's nearly impossible for a single mother household to raise a fully functioning adult man. I'm not saying it's impossible. There's always an exception to the rule. But at the end of the day, it's going to be nearly impossible because why? A woman can never provide that masculine energy that young men are looking for, are seeking as they are growing up. Why do you think so many young guys, so many young men are out there in them streets with some gangs or doing things that they're not supposed to do just because they feel comfortable around masculine?
Let me tell you something, and I'm going to make this very clear. Statistically, they have found that single fathers have roughly the same results raising children that that a home has, where you have both a mother and a father. So just fathers, single fathers are significantly more likely to raise children than single mothers who will graduate from college or go and get a trade, who will not end up in the streets and never be incarcerated. Those are the statistics that you get with single fathers versus single mothers. Okay? So, I want you to understand and it's amazing. Like Soraya, she's great, she's incredible, but a lot of women don't comprehend the fact that young women need their father. And when I say that they need their father, I would argue that a young woman needs her father more than her mother. In fact, researchers have found that children do better, up until maybe about the age of 7. Children raised by fathers perform better in life. So when they're young, when they're very, very young, having someone who will nurture them, that will be there for them, kiss their boo-boos and all that other stuff is valuable. But by the time they're about 7, only 7 years old, after the age of 7, children raised by single fathers actually perform better, because one of the things that fathers do is they teach, crazy enough, and I never knew this, they teach children how to regulate their emotions. You can't have little girls growing up into a household where mom has men coming back and forth in and out of that house, because that sets a bad example to her. That sets a very, very bad example for her. It's showing her the kinds of relationships that adults have and the kinds of relationships that it will be okay for her to have with men. That's not acceptable. While most women have no problem, a lot of women have no problem bringing men around their kids. Most men, this is just my belief and analysis, are significantly less likely to allow a woman to be around their children, to bring unless it's like unless they're dating a woman who already has kids, they're a single father, and they're dating a woman who also has kids, it's a bit different. But if they're dating like some random woman, they're usually very, very hesitant to introduce that woman to their children. In fact, a lot of men just won't even date. A lot of single fathers won't even date. They will not date because they don't want to bring a woman around their kids who might displace their kids, who might create problems for their children, because they care that much about their kids. You see, the thing about men is a man can live without physical intimacy. A woman cannot. When men get into relationships with women, they become more difficult, because I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to say this right now, and most women are not honest about it. If a woman is fairly attractive, if she is fairly attractive, she's still like in her 30s or 40s, all right? Forget and 20s, that's like unsaid. But if she's a relatively young, healthy, attractive woman, and she doesn't even have to necessarily be attractive, but if she's a relatively young, healthy woman, and attractive is a plus, and she's married to some dude, and unless this guy is just the worst person in the world, right? If like he's on, maybe on hygienic, and there's a bunch of different things, unless he's the worst person in the world, it's very, very hard for her to avoid being physically intimate with him, because women like physical intimacy more than men. And this is knowledge, y'all. This is knowledge. And there are times in the 90s where women would say, like, in the early 2000s, women would say, like, we like physical intimacy more than you guys. We like it more than you. And it's the simps. This is why I condemn the simps. Are like, no, you don't, ladies. We need it more than you. Men don't listen. You see, Sims. It's like they take pride in being. They take pride in being Sims. They take pride in being degenerate. They take pride in being and just it's just sick. It's sick. And the truth is that most women as a whole need physical intimacy more than men. It's like an emotional experience for them. They need it more than we do. All right. They'll act like they don't. The reason why is because it's so easy for them to have, and it's like water to them. It's like it's not it's easier to it is easier for a woman to obtain physical intimacy than it is for her to obtain water. All right. It's nothing to it's really nothing for a woman. Men, on the other hand, when we get into relationships, it's like you're in a relationship with a person and you don't even have your own space anymore. If you're a single man, you're living by yourself, you want physical intimacy, you can basically go over to the hub, or load up your favorite video, or it doesn't even matter. And you can, within a couple of minutes, you can knock that one out, basically rub out the eraser head and go back to playing games or watching wrestling or whatever. When you're in a relationship, you don't really have that type of space available to you. You're sharing space with someone. You have to be very careful. You want to rub out, you want physical intimacy, using self gratification. You have to go into the bathroom and basically do that on your own. So it's completely different. And then you're dealing with someone who doesn't like you, who has a bad attitude. You have a wife, but she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't want to have anything to do with you. The truth is, if you're in a relationship and a woman doesn't want to be with you, that means she's likely cheating on you, because they need it more than we do. They honestly do. And if she is in a and if you're unless you're the worst person, it doesn't matter if you're fat, you're overweight, you're not even very good looking. The reality is that none of those things matter to a woman, just like none of those things matter to a man. Most men, they can be physically intimate with a woman who's not very attractive, because if that's all that's available, they're going to take full advantage of it. It's the exact same with a woman. Don't let them make you believe that that it's more complicated than that. No, it's just that they have more options, and because they have more options, that's why they behave the way that they do. But if you're their only option, all right, if you're their only option and they're not able to go, and they're not out there turning to someone else and getting intimacy from someone else, then they're going to be with you, what they're one way or another. When they get thirsty enough, when they get tired enough, when they are desperate enough, they are going to go to you. They are going to go to you, and they are going to be with you. Don't believe them. Do not believe them, because society has made it so that we must now believe that they are virtuous while we are villainous. And that is not the case. And pretty much no matter, there's nothing we can do about it as men. We are not the ones who have to change, it's women who have to evolve. And women like Soraya can't help these women, because she's just preaching to the choir. She's preaching to men. She's preaching to me, you listening. She's preaching to us. Okay? Because the very moment that a woman starts speaking facts to another woman, it goes in one ear and comes out the other. And they will turn on her, because women don't like women. Think about it very carefully. All right? If a woman is not validating the delusions of another woman, then that means that she doesn't like women, and that if she's not with them, then she's against them. This is how women think. So there's nothing that any women speaking to other women cannot help them, because they don't listen to other women. They don't listen to men, and they especially don't listen to other women. While they will work together to gang up on men, they don't actually that does not necessarily mean that they actually like each other. The sisterhood is real until the sisterhood is real until the rent is due. It's the truth. The sisterhood is real until the rent is due, and that's when they start to go men.
So a mother who's basically saying, oh, I am my son's mom and dad at the same time, it is nice to say something like that, but that's impossible. Even if a mother raises her voice at a certain time, the man is not going to take her seriously anymore because it's not going to sit like the bass in a man's voice. I see it around me all the time. Single mothers are trying to discipline their sons. They're looking at them like, what the hell is your problem? What do you want from me? You know, it's going to be very hard to tell a young man something if you're the woman. And most of the time, these women are overwhelmed with everything anyway. They don't even have the strength to discipline a boy because they see that it doesn't work. What I just mentioned up until now are some problems that the young man has to deal with as he's growing up. On top of that, you have the issues that are going on with a lot of modern Western women nowadays who already are single mothers themselves. With that being said, they're going to bring a whole bunch of issues, problems, emotional baggage, and some kids to a man's life. Meaning these women have developed their masculinity so much to a point they don't even know how to be.
This is a point that I've told you guys many times. Like modern women, they're cooked. They can't. There's no coming back because they are so masculine that there's no. It's impossible for them to ever be feminine because masculinity is a part of their identity. All right. This is the reason why we're going to have a lot of poverty, a lot of hardship, a lot of TTCs, Tyrone 10 cities, because hard times have arrived. The ATMs are going to stop working and banks are going to chain the doors. But at Angry's Crypto Academy, we're going to teach you, we will teach you how to buy, sell, trade crypto. And of course, don't miss out on our new blueprint, the escape the 9 to 5, how to replace your job with cryptocurrency. Now available. Learn how to achieve financial freedom and replace your job with cryptocurrency. Check it out using the link in the description of the video. I mean, modern women said that we want the beer, but now they don't want to go hang out with Yogi and Boo Boo. This is a choice that they made for themselves, and it's not going to get any better. It really isn't. It really, really isn't.
If they ever want to be in a functioning relationship. Let me just show you a clip so you understand what I'm talking about.
I'm a woman, so you're telling me something that I'm telling you is not true. I look at myself as an alpha female. The reason I'm not bigger, I'm not stronger. Lord knows I can't wait till an alpha male comes in my life and takes over. I'm an alpha female because I am the head of my household. So how a man would be a head of his household and run things, I have to do that until a man comes in and does that. Yes, I am an alpha. The bills are paid by me. My kids are taken care of by me. I run everything that goes on in my life and my children's life to a T. Nothing does not move unless it moves through me.
So she admits that she is masculine, but she somehow thinks that if a masculine man comes into her life, she will then suddenly become feminine. It does not work that way. Modern women just don't understand. Like, for example, even in same even in relationships where you have basically two men, right? You can There's no such thing as, just my observation, there's usually the masculine and the feminine. So there's no, oh well, we're both masculine. No, 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 no. You have to have balance within the relationship. There has to be a person who is masculine, there has to be a person who is feminine. Okay. Not everyone can be on the top. Some also have to be at the bottom. Just like in a corporation, not everyone can be at the top. Some people have to be at the bottom doing the legwork. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there has to be balance. So how is it that even if in a relationship where you have two dudes, someone has to take on the feminine role. And it's not just, oh, I'm going to take on the feminine role when we're in a relationship, like we're both masculine, but now one of us is going to be feminine. No, 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 it doesn't work like that. Okay? You have to have a person that's already has a feminine personality and takes on that and has taken on that feminine characteristic, over the course of their entire life. Because by the time someone is around 7 years old, their personality is set in stone. So these alpha females, they've been living as masculines their entire lives, and now that life is hard and throwing all of these ups and downs at them, they're like, well, once I find Mr. Right, he's going to step into my life and transform my life, and I will become the feminine one in the relationship. No, bro, you're basically going to continue trying to run that house, and you're going to try to have him, basically submit to you. And then you're going to create grief in there. A man, women in America say that, I need a man who can handle me. A man does not want to be with a woman who he has to handle. And to be clear, submission does not mean allowing yourself to be taken advantage of, or not having a voice. It just means being agreeable. A woman who is submissive, makes it very clear where she stands with things. If she's in a relationship with a dude and he makes a mistake, she's just not going to. The difference is that she's not going to lash out at him. She will wait until he has calmed down. She will wait until they are alone, and then she will speak to him and tell him what he has done is not right. And she will use reason with him. That is how a feminine woman behaves in a relationship. That is how a submissive woman behaves in a relationship. She does, and she makes herself very clear what she will tolerate from what she won't tolerate. She has boundaries. She will not allow her boundaries to be violated. She has confidence in herself. Okay? The difference is her behavior, how she talks to others, how she treats others. Let me tell you something. My experience with Soraya. I had Soraya on my channel. Oh my gosh, over a year ago. It was well over a year ago. It was a minute. It was a minute. I can't even remember. I don't know if it was a year or 2 years. It's been a hot minute since I had Soraya on. I definitely need to do it again. I was planning to have her on a lot. I feel bad about that, but it's just life happens, and you guys have seen everything that's happened. But Soraya is so cool, and the way that Soraya talks to me, speaks to me as a man, I will never forget that. She will stop talking and allow me to speak. All right. And this is not my woman, but the way that she speaks to me as a man is completely different. Just, and even we're like, I'm like a friend to her, but she will still speak to me like a man, respectfully. And most women don't. Most women, it's a complete night and day. There's just the way that women communicate with men in Western society is just you. There's nothing that we can do. These women are never going to change. What's interesting about Soraya is that she can clap back. That's the interesting thing. Don't think that she's weak. Just because she's submissive, just because she will submit to her husband, doesn't mean that she's weak. All right. Soraya can be mean. When women mess with her, Soraya can be mean. She can be really, really mean, and she can leave these women in tears. Modern women need to understand that they are playing with fire. Just because women overseas are submissive does not mean that they are weak. In fact, in the kink community, who has more of the power? Who has more control? The sub, the person, the dom or the sub? It's actually the sub, because they're the ones who dictate what they will and will not allow in the relationship. Of course, the dom has power as well, but the power is given to him by the sub. Think about that very, very carefully. All right? Women who submit understand how to get what they want using their femininity and using feminine charm, which is something that modern women don't have. And now the rent is due and they don't want to pay the bill. What do you guys think regarding all of this? What do you think? Single mothers are condemning men going their own way. Don't you think that's absolutely ridiculous? After the decisions that they've made, after saying we don't want you, but now we need you, come back and serve us, come back and save us.
Alpha female. I'm in the working field. I'm competitively in the working field.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm not beneath.
Baby girl just spoke for 44 seconds, and that's exactly what I mean. Saying all of these things when bottom line, all they are is an adult paying bills, going to work, taking care of their kids. But the aggressive undertone when these women are speaking just lets you know they're overwhelmed. They're sick of it. They're done. They don't have no more energy. They're looking for an alpha male to come over and take over. take over her responsibilities, make life easier for her because she's exhausted. I understand that. But at the end of the day, why is another man supposed to take care of another man's children? I don't want to talk down on single mothers. I know some single mothers myself. You just have to come to the realization that you are not an alpha female looking for an alpha male. You're a single mother taking care of your responsibilities, nothing more and nothing less. And I understand that it's stressful, but you cannot expect to put that stress on a whole different man. So really, it's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle of some single mother households really just messing up and then blaming the man for messing up their life. I mean, I don't know. Make it make sense, anyone. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the situation.
I mean, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Single mothers are condemning men going their own way. Let's talk about it in the comments, what you think regarding everything we discussed here today. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.